Hey guys, John here again. I wanted to do a quick little video, and today I wanted to show you that after I posted my last video update, the epic one, quote unquote, I was printing out some more bar clamps with the last bit of my orange PLA, and I got 4 of them done as a set, and I reduced it down to 2 because I thought I might run out. And halfway through that print, I started to notice that my X carriage was not moving, and this is why. Oh, now it wants to move. See what's going on here? It seems as though the shaft is still connected to the motor, but the actual teeth are not connected to the collar. So what I'm going to do, let's move that up. I'm going to replace this right here. I'm going to go ahead and set in my freaking little Allen head key in there. Unscrew the set screw. And this should just slide right off. There we go. These are really good pulleys, and they lasted me quite a while. I think that I might have just over-torqued the belt for too long, and it had problems. As you can see, the belt is very tight still. It might be just my noob ways, but I have to learn the hard way sometimes. There it is. Very good Maker Gear pulley. I believe it's 2 for $10 at makergear.com, and it worked pretty good. Luckily for me, I went ahead and ordered 2, so I do not have to worry that I cannot get back to printing. I'm going to put the shaft flat side up, and then I'm going to take out the set screw out of the last one. Just pull it on out. Got the screw out, and now I need to find out a way to get out that little nut. There's a little trap nut in there. I'm going to just push it out the other side. I ended up just cutting out the rest of the set screw so I can just pull it out. It became too hard to pull out cleanly. So I'm pulling it out right now. And for those that have not built a kit yet, you can use, I believe it is an M3, any size M3 metric bolt and an M3 nut. So right now I'm just going to take the new one, fresh out of the packaging. Do you see that? There we go, brand new. That's what I wish all my parts look like. I'm going to set it right in there. And this is supposed to be tight. You want it to be tight. You can use pliers to push it in if you have to, like I will. Be very gentle when you do this. You do not want to mess it up. You don't want to break anything. You should just pop right on it. There it goes. And you can see it's a little misaligned right there. Not a big deal. Just take your Allen key and push it right in there and wiggle it around. It'll come down. Next, take your set screw. Place it on your Allen key. Just like this. And gently insert that in there. You might have to force it a little bit because there's some extra plastic all around the new inside the new pulley. Go ahead and screw that in. It seems to be taking, which is good. Now you have to just worry about getting through to the other side. And once you start to see that black on the inside, you'll know you're ready to stop. It's starting to get a little tighter. It's breaking through that new plastic. And there it is. I can see it on the inside now. I'm going to back it up again. Find your flat side. Grab your belt. You can loosen the belt if you want. I'm going to try to do this without loosening the belt, just because I don't have to deal with recalibrating or messing with my steps at all. Now it's going to be tricky. You want to keep the flat side where the set screw goes. And I'm on. Okay. You want to check your belt and make sure that when your belt's installed, it is directly over the other belt. The return belt is over the feed belt. And right now I am trying to deal with getting the flat side flat with the pulley set screw. So that's what I'm doing right now. Okay, now a way you can do this is to turn on your machine, which I am plugging in mine right now. And you can probably see the stuff pop up on my screen in the background. I'm going to open my pronter face program. Still trying to mess with my pulley here. Going to connect to my pronter face. It's already set up for this machine. And once it's online, you just hit X in any direction and the motors will be engaged and locked. And now I can successfully pull this motor around without the shaft actually moving. Let's see if that translates. Getting it up a little bit. Now, since I'm using this side, I'm holding, can you see that? This side of the Allen key, it's not going to put a lot of torque on it because I'm only using my fingers. If you want to put a lot of torque, which I don't recommend, you flip it over onto this side so you hold it by the long side. Set that in there once. Make sure it's got a, oh, it's not sitting well. I might have the wrong key. Oh, there it goes. Okay. And then just twist a little, just enough. And then if it overcomes, you're good to go. Get a nice little another snug, and you should be all set. Now, since I have you here, and you seem, by you I mean the camera, seems to be out of the way, I'm going to try to move the motors. Let's see what happens. It looks a little rough. I might have to tighten my belt. Let's check for lash. What I'm doing right now is I'm holding the X idler in the positive side, and I'm going to push it into the positive side and see if something builds up. Looks good to me. Let's go the other way. Let's hit home. The opto worked, and I think I'm good. Let's go 100 millimeters in the positive, 100 millimeters again. I don't know if I have all the clearance. I don't. I'm maybe 1 millimeter shy. And then once I'm locked out of the other end. I'm just going to hit Y positive, or X as you were, X positive by 0.1 millimeter. And it's having a hard time skipping a step, which is good for us. The shaft seems to be locked into position. I'm going to bring it back by 1 millimeter to relax the tension. And then I'm just going to give it another snug set screw. I'm just tighten the set screw just a little bit. Make sure everything's good. Okay, so we're set up. And so that was changing out the pulley. It's one of the easier things to do on when repairing your Reprap. There are a lot of things you need to do. Since I went through and broke everything down, since my first build up, I've changed up the X carriage, added a maker gear hot end, added these heat sinks because I was dealing with overheating. The Z optos are a nightmare. You will always have problems with your optos. I suggest going with mechanical just because I hate optos that much. More opto crap down here. That one seems to be working pretty reliably. I have issues underneath. You can see that the X idler and X motor mount, the screws that hold the rods in, I over tightened them and now they're pulling out of the bottom. So maybe these issues will be resolved with the next version of Prusa or the next version of Reprap, whichever that might be. I've added a Bowden cable, which is basically like a bicycle brake. When you pull it from one end, it tightens at the other. And this is kind of like the same thing where you put, when the extruder pulls, it spreads the force across the Bowden cable, and it's locked in at the top there with some duct tape, and it pulls that spool without any interruption. It's one of the best ways I've ever pulled filament. So that is just off the top of my head the stuff that I've done recently, and that's this week. That's just a short, I guess it's a short video.